In this video, I'm going to talk to you about emotions. I already talked on my channel about the fact that everything is energy, and that if you want to change a particular situation or manifest anything, you need to change the energy. Energy creates emotions, and emotions generate thoughts. Therefore, it is fruitless to work with thoughts to change a situation. If you want to change the energy, you need to work with your emotions. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you 3 ways of changing your emotions. But first of all, I want to tell you something that not many people tell you, which is the fact that not all emotions are the same. You have surface emotions and you have core emotions. It is your core emotions that help you manifest your reality. Your core emotions are mostly subconscious, and they are the ones that create your overall state of being or your overall emotional state. Your surface emotions is when you feel good temporarily or when you do something that makes you feel in a certain way on the spot. For example, you watch your favorite TV series to distract yourself from something unpleasant, or you eat an ice cream to make yourself feel good. These emotions are surface emotions, and they are not the ones that help you change a situation. Therefore, we need to work with your core emotions. First of all, we need to identify your core emotions. You need to do a little bit of introspection here and really think of what your vibration or your core emotions might be relative to the subject that you want to manifest, relative to what you want to change or what you want to create. So, do you feel disappointment? Do you feel lack? Do you feel loss? Do you feel hopeless? How do you feel? What is your overall vibration? What is your overall emotional state relative to what you want to create or change? And once you identify that, you need to know what you want instead to feel as a core emotion. What do you want your emotional state to be like? So, for example, someone who wants to manifest more connection in their lives, someone who wants to have their own tribe or manifest friends or like-minded people and feel supported and connected, might have a core vibration of feeling lonely, okay? So they might have a core vibration of feeling disconnected or lonely. And in this case, this person would need to change their emotional state to feeling connected, to feeling as if connection can happen literally at any time, and it is so easy and so natural and it feels so good. So, in order to do this, there are the 3 ways that I mentioned. The first way of changing your core emotions into something that you want is to use memory. By using your memories. So, accessing a memory where you felt what you would want to feel right now. So, for example, in this case, with this scenario, when the person felt as if they were connected, I mean, when they actually felt connected, with other people, when they felt surrounded by friends and like-minded people, and they felt supported and loved and understood. So, by accessing this memory or these memories from the past, your subconscious brings you back to yourself on the timeline as you felt back then. And when you access these memories, when you felt as you would want to feel in the present, really remember every feeling, everything that you felt, every detail, and most importantly, how you felt in your body back then, how you felt in your mind, and how you felt in your state of being energetically. How did you feel back then? And the more you connect to that energy of how you felt back then throughout the day, the more your subconscious is going to connect you with that energy on the timeline that already exists, and is going to make you again become that person, because you're going to connect more and more with your vibrational state that you had back then. So accessing those memories is a very powerful technique for changing your core vibration or your core emotions. Now, the second modality of changing your emotions is to imagine, to use fantasy or imagination. And you don't need to play pretend, because your mind knows when you're pretending or you're faking it. And you're not being true to how you really feel in the present. You're just like trying to fake something. This is more like a what if scenario, a what if game, let's say, where you imagine, what if I would feel this way? And you might think right now or feel that it is impossible for you to feel differently because of your circumstances, because of the other factors in your life. But this is a game of what if. What if everything? What if these factors wouldn't be in your life right now? What if all of those blockages or whatever you perceive as being a block would not exist? What if? What if you would be in a completely different environment, in a completely different, I know, place? What if you would feel completely different? Or what would it take for you to feel that way? And imagine that. It can be a fantasy scenario that is not even anchored in anything that you know. It's not even anchored in any real place, in anything that is real. And it still works, even if it is a fantasy scenario. Or it can be anchored in real places and real situations and with real people. So just imagining this, what if? What if I would feel this way? What if things would be different? What if things would be different, and how would you feel then? And really connect to that feeling of how you would feel then. So this has no limits with your imagination. And like I said, you can literally change everything, every single scenario in your mind about how your life is right now. You can imagine that you're on a completely different planet in a fantasy world or something, but what would it take for you? What would it take for you to feel different? So these are the questions that you need to ask yourself. And you don't need to do this on a regular basis or every day, but once. And even once, if you connect truly with this what if scenario, your vibration will shift, will start shifting into the right directions because you're setting an intention to your subconscious. And because that intention has a positive, pure positive energy, because it's not real. So if it is not real, you're just playing, you're just playing around with it. But if you know it's not real, there's no resistance. So if there's no resistance, then you manifest easily. So just have fun with imagining these things and changing your core energy to how you would want to feel, creating a scenario of what if. That would be great to feel that way, right? What if I would be in that scenario? And the third modality of changing your emotions is by placing yourself in someone else's shoes. And what I mean by placing yourself in someone else's shoes is that you're taking a different identity momentarily, for the time being, for a second or two, for a few moments. You're imagining as if you would be a different person that does not have your limitations and your negative core emotions. So, for example, you would want to be in the shoes of the popular person, right? In high school, let's say. Then imagine yourself being that person. And this is again an exercise of imagination, of trying to play a role at the end of the day. And imagine yourself, what if you would be a different person that has everything that you want to have or create in your life? And that person does not even need to be real. It can be your hero. It can be a hero from books or movies. It can be an imaginary character that you respect and you admire. So it can be any character. It can be any person, whether imaginary or real. And by you placing yourself in that person's shoes, in that person's character's perspective, you are changing your own core emotions, because you no longer identify with your own negative or limiting perspective or your perspective of lack. You identify with the perspective of a character or of someone who has already what you want to create or what you want to manifest. So these are my free tools for you for changing your core emotions.